Greetings ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel and to the post-stream vlog for Rift Prime week number 3. A bunch of things have happened over the last week leading up to this weekend stream, and I'm going to go through a couple of things. First things first, look, the background and everything is different and it's only temporary because I'm kind of cleaning and renovating my workspace over there, and there's just too much clutter, and I'm a really slow cleaner and quite the bum, so this is going to be the backdrop for a while. And let's go ahead and talk about Rift Prime. By the time you guys watch this, I should have hit level 40 already. It's been 2 days since the weekend stream, and look, leading up into this weekend stream, there's a bunch of things that I think you guys already know from my social media posts and from the stream itself. I think what I'm having the most fun with in Rift Prime so far in terms of content is the group stuff, you know, queuing for PvP, which always pops instead of dungeons. For some reason I can never get dungeons to pop, and that's a real shame because some of the dungeons that I've done over the past 3 weeks have been pretty fun. They're lengthy, lots of trash mobs, it's got a very old school feel about it, and the difficulty is no joke. So it's kind of sad that I can't really complete a lot of the quests that I pick up for the standard dungeons, and hopefully once I get into the higher brackets, maybe it'll be better, but I think my chances are very slim. I probably have to wake up in the morning my time to catch the US prime time crowd if I want to get into dungeons properly. But PvP seems to be popping every it doesn't matter what time of day it is, within half an hour at least I'll get a pop. Besides that, landscape questing, I mentioned a lot of that on my stream this weekend. Look, in terms of story, Rift has one of those MMO stories that I wouldn't say generic. I mean, they've got their own thing going for it in terms of the two factions and having a backstory, and there's this one common enemy that both factions have, and there are parts of it that are engaging, but story quest chains, you get them at the very beginning while you're out there questing, doing all the other landscape quests, and then they kind of disappear for a while. And there are some zones in the mid-tier, in the last week between level 25 going on to level 30, it disappears and then it comes back again, and those story type quests, the ones with the gold background, do give you the most XP when it comes to quest XP rewards. So it's been that sort of thing. Like, I've just been doing a bunch of landscape quests, just trying to catch up, and the story for those normal landscape quests, unfortunately, very standard. It's kind of predictable. The quality of the objectives are very, how should I say this, cliche. You come to expect it, the usual fetch and kill, and the thing is there's going to be lots of back and forth, and to put into consideration the slow mount speed that you have, assuming you don't have the money to buy a 60% speed mount, which is going to cost you 25 platinum, and at level 25 plus you may not have it yet. And yeah, I kind of struggled with those things, but the thing I struggled the most with has been kind of just landscape difficulty. There was a part when after finishing Gloamwood, which is the second zone for the Guardians, and moving on into Scarlet Gorge, the difficulty kind of picked up a little bit because I noticed that my level was about 2 or 3 levels lower than what the landscape mobs were, and there were some quests which requires like a big boss kill or something, and at least for me I kind of noticed that my class or the souls that I picked wasn't up for it, and I was kind of dying a lot, and that made me go and look at different builds and try and get better gear by doing more group stuff, doing more events, trying to rack up some planarites or some void stones, which are the currency you need to get gear from those event vendors. And I've been doing a lot of that, and to a certain extent it kind of helped. And what I really did to change things was actually go buy one of the exclusive souls. Now I say exclusive because on Prime you have to actually pay planarite to unlock additional souls for your classes. Now I'm not sure about the other Rift Prime classes, but for me, the Cleric, when you go back to your faction HQ for Guardians, it is the Sanctum, there's going to be a soul merchant or a soul vendor that's going to sell you about, at least for me, it was 3 additional souls. And the first one was the Defiler, and that cost 2,000 planarite. Then the next one, the Oracle, I think that was about 20,000 planarite, and then the last one was about 70,000 planarite. So the last two is pretty hard to get because you're going to be grinding a lot of events. But I had enough to buy the first one, which is the Defiler, and having played around with it for a bit, yeah, it kind of make the questing experience a bit more better in that regard. I was killing things more faster because it was a dot, time-based dot kind of build where I could just stack dots on a variety of mobs, and it doesn't have AoE, but you know, I can just individually stack dots and some of them heal me back. And yeah, I was killing things faster. I also looked into getting some macros put in, got my UIs, add-ons and stuff, and I would say Prime now is sort of a better experience. I think I'm slowly starting to get into it. I'm growing into it. I'm getting used to the pace of the combat. I'm getting used to the way the quest chains work and how the hub crawls work and everything. And I think I'm pretty comfortable now with where I'm at in Prime. At least this week is, like Monday and Tuesday, because on Sunday there was one part where I was really frustrated myself because I was just frustrated that whatever I had in terms of a class build and my gear just wasn't working on the landscape. But hey, so that's what I've been up to, really, just clearing out landscape quests, doing as many PvP matches as I can in between, which is really fun. I don't know, I can't explain it. I mean, it's not the quick action based battlegrounds or arena PvP from other games that you're kind of used to, but what really shines with Rift's PvP is just the general, I don't know, there's just something about it. I mean, the objectives within those war fronts are also pretty standard, you know, hold a relic, capture a point, do this, do that, and in between just kill people. I don't know, just something about the PvP that I kind of like. Now, besides my Prime character, there was a point where I was also feeling like, okay, you know what, I'm paying 15 bucks a month to play Prime in its current state because I don't have that launch kind of vanilla feeling to Prime like other players have, those who have played this game from the very beginning. And what I wanted to know was, you know, for the money I was paying, like what benefits do the live servers offer players who pay the monthly subscription or become a patron, as it's known. So I went over to the live servers, and to my shock, I actually have 9 characters on the live servers for Rift, which I don't remember at all. I remember 2. Maybe the one was because I was in a guild created by a podcast for a Lord of the Rings Online podcast that I used to follow, and they had a guild on Rift. So I had a level 26 warrior or something on there, and then just the other bunch of alts that I don't even remember playing, and this must have been way back in 2013. So what I did, I created a Cleric, and I made her a Defiant, and I just started leveling through the tutorial, you know, just to see what are the benefits that as a patron you get on the live servers. And oh my god, I cannot tell you, it is night and day. Leveling on the live servers is very fast, and I mean, I did have some benefits, like when I logged in, I checked my mail, apparently I got a free mount for being a long time player. I also had the Storm Legion expansion given to me for free. That one I remember because I use Raptor, and Raptor is a time tracking app for games, and apparently I hit a quota and they gave me a present for that. And you know, as a patron, leveling on live, you get more currency, you get more XP rewards. If you have a horse or a mount or whatever, you get 15% more speed or something. In addition to that, patrons, subscribers get subscribers only skills. You can summon vendors, you can summon the bank teller, you can summon mailbox, your ports, you can port from anywhere out in the world, 30-minute cooldown, and yeah, just a bunch of different benefits that I'm like, whoa, this is actually awesome if you're paying to be a subscriber on live. And sure, that means it would suck to be free to play because everything is kind of slowed down, but that's kind of how I feel on Prime, though. You know, everything's slow, everything is and I'm only feeling this way, as I said, on Tuesday's Twitch, because on Tuesday's Twitch was when I actually was streaming on live to trying to show players the difference between live and Prime. So if you haven't seen that, I think it's still saved on my Twitch for about two more weeks, so you can go check out the stream if you want to. But yeah, I was kind of feeling a little bit like that, you know, on Prime, like, wow, it's really slow compared to live. And, you know, I'm a paying subscriber. We're all subscribers on the Prime server, but nobody gets any of the boosts that you get on live. So that's a really interesting perspective, at least for me, because I don't have that experience on live, right, of being a long-time player and then had to go free to play and then suffer through all the changes and everything. I never experienced that. And so coming in and starting with Prime, and seeing a lot of these people come back just to play on Prime instead of wanting to pay and be a patron on live with all those benefits is really, it's quite an eye-opener, which simply means that for whatever reason, as an MMORPG, whatever Rift has done over the last 5-6 years, something definitely went wrong somewhere, and along the way, people just didn't want to be a sub anymore. Whereas I now, if I were to start playing Rift, I'm like, shit, with all those benefits that being a patron gives me, I'd rather pay the 15 bucks. But on Prime, I can see the allure. Everybody's on the same equal footing. Nobody can buy gear in the store. Nobody can buy, you know, any boosts. No level 65 boost, nothing. Everyone starts out even. Everybody has to get their crafters up traditionally and trade, and, you know, get the best gear by doing it old school. And I think that's one of the biggest allure about fresh start progression servers anyway. So that's kind of my thoughts about this past week, and, you know, what I've been up to and everything. And so just to wrap things up, you know, when it comes to classes as well, one of the key things I noticed is that on the live servers, there are, I think almost all the classes have like a couple of souls that are pretty OP for leveling, especially if you're a new class or a new player and then you're just leveling a new alt or whatever. Some of these souls just obliterate enemies out in the landscape very, very fast. And some of those souls are not on Prime yet, I don't think. But for the ones that are, those are what's in the soul merchants for a very expensive price, I think. And I've seen some of those in action, like the Defiler one that I bought. I know it got a nerf on Prime recently, so what I did was I also went and bought the Defiler on my live Cleric that I made on Monday. And I had a free level 40 account boost for being, again, some long time account or whatever. So I immediately used that. And I went out to a Rift. I grabbed about 6 or 7 or 8 mobs at a time, just dotted everybody, and I killed them all in less than, what, 50 seconds, being a Defiler on live. So I'm like, holy shit, the difference between Prime and live in that regard is night and day. Now, how many of those OP skills or OP souls are on Prime, I don't know, because I am not very well versed or knowledgeable about all the other classes that Rift has. So it'll be interesting to see how they balance that out, especially on the Prime, you know. I know mages have a very good soul as well, something about an archery, something like that, I don't know. But I've seen it in action. I was in a dungeon with this mage guy who was just killing things so fast with magical arrows at AoE style, and I thought that was super cool. But you know, those aren't available at the very beginning. You have to grind your planarites for it. So that's that. And look, I think this vlog has gone on long enough. I guess I'll share more thoughts in the coming stream number 4, this coming weekend. And by then, hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be level 50, because I've got so much more to do, not just for Prime. There's a bunch of videos I'm working on, and I've got to jump to other MMOs too for content. So the last thing I want to talk about is Rift's mentoring system, which I got a chance to use yesterday as well. I think it's brilliant. I really think that is one of the best scaling systems when it comes to level, content, and XP and all that stuff in you know, in the MMO world. I had a choice after finishing Gloamwood to take my Cleric to either the Iron Pine Peaks to the north or to Scarlet Gorge. Both were level 27. And I went to Scarlet Gorge. You know, did all my quests there, and then went to a zone ahead, skipping Iron Pine. And that's when I actually had that feeling like, shit, I'm about 2 levels behind the landscape mobs. What am I going to do? Dungeons aren't popping, so there's no way I can get XP that way. Events only come, you know, every so often. So I went back to Iron Pine Peaks as like a level, what, 36 or something? I went back there. And Rift has this thing called mentoring down, which you can either set it manually or it automatically does it for you. And what that does is it puts you back to a level near where the zone level is. And the really cool thing is you'll still get experience points from killing monsters and completing quests that will be comparable to your original state level. So, like at level 36, for example, if I was killing stuff in the zone that I'm currently in, the appropriate zone, I would get maybe 9,000 XP per quest, right? So I went back to Iron Pine Peaks as a level 36. It scaled me down to like level 26, and I completed a quest there, and it gave me 9,000 XP. So I thought, oh shit, that's cool. So I can see this on the live servers, because live servers you can boost your character, you can buy boosts, you know, you can do a whole bunch of things. and I find it really cool that if you miss a zone or you had to miss a zone, you can always scale back, go down, complete that, earn the comparable XP, and you know, be done with it. I mean, the gear is obviously not going to scale. That's the way it is. Only the quests and the XP rewards scale, but the gear still remains at that level. But I still think it's really, really cool. And because of that scaling, that mentoring system, I was able to complete the Iron Pine Peaks and get those 2 important levels for me to get my soul points and then go back to the zone that I was questing in. And I was a lot more effective that way. So I really appreciate that. I think it's a really cool system, the mentoring system. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. It's been a long vlog. So yeah, I'm going to be streaming as usual Sunday night, this coming Sunday, for stream number 4. And yeah, it's coming along nicely. As for what am I going to do with the live cleric that I made now, well, she's level 41. And I will try and get her up to cap on live as well. I don't know how long that's going to take, but that's the plan. I want to get one character to cap on live, and obviously I want to get my prime up to cap, which is going to happen within this week, fingers crossed. And then it'll be easier for me to compare 2 things, you know, the population, the player base, some systems, because there are things on live that are not even on prime, you know, instant adventures, just the companion or minion system or whatever it is they call it, and a whole bunch of things on live that prime doesn't have. And it'll be interesting to see what the game is with or without, you know. So stay tuned to that. It's not going to be really instant because my life is I am in transition of jobs at the moment, so I'm really busy. But as I will definitely put out more content when I get the chance. Anyway, I'm done here. So hit the like button for more Rift, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more MMO content. I may be covering Rift now, but I do create a bunch of other videos like discussions and more reviews and all that good stuff. Anyway, once again, Adrian here, and I thank you guys for watching. Hey, welcome to the end screen. If you've made it this far, it means you've watched the entire video, and I thank you very much for that. If you want to watch more videos, you can click the cards at the bottom here, anyone would do. And you can subscribe to my channel by hitting the big round button here to get notifications on all my latest videos. See you guys in the next video.